Might as well go. Let people
Go
come in.
live. Go live.
It needs to do like a. What I keep forgetting to make is like a little
Live intro?
5 minute, yeah, just 5 minute intro where we can just chat whilst it's just playing, and we can just come in whenever.
Yeah, that'd be a really good shout.
And then we could start it early, but earlier then.
Yeah. And
Problem
have
is,
like a
though,
1
then
minute
it's
countdown will be fine.
yeah, but I'll just edit it for you.
Just keep it in there, dude. We can do whatever we're talking about. Whatever's coming up. That works. Are we live?
Yeah, we are now.
Oh.
I know we changed.
We're all just sitting here like melts.
Classic, dude.
I'd say that was
Every
pressing
week-
the button.
Yeah, I did ignore you, if it helps. Let's see what we
Need a
got.
big warning, like.
It does need like a siren of some sort, I reckon.
Okay, we have the technology.
Sound the siren. We do, anytime you enter the lobby, in fact. It's true.
Ooh, you're listening to the Regional One podcast. Ooh, oh
Yeah.
yeah. Use that, man. There you go.
Hell yeah. Dude, get that sampled, Callum. You know what to do. I gotta get my... Do you know what? I just opened up the podcast. Good evening. Good evening, Marie. Good evening, Katie. I just opened that up and all I heard was back again. I was like, nice.
Can I get a oh yeah?
Oh, yeah. Anytime you're on tour and you see one of those Hoyer vans, you know, it's like the lorries. Every single time. All right. Good evening.
Have I changed my name? Thing I have. At times I do that. I just it's still the last band's like name. And I'm like,
We run a professional show here.
Oh,
at
yeah.
given times. Just let a few more people trickle on in, I reckon. Trickle.
we've got Katie here
Right.
already, so
Yeah, we got Marie, we got Katie. I think you guys had a chat with Marie lately, didn't you?
You did, and oh my god, she's so lovely, man. She's so lovely to chat to,
Yeah.
and yeah, and Katie also so lovely. Just
Two
everyone's
top
just
ladies
lovely,
right there.
man. Like, just great, just
Hell yeah.
great. Yeah.
I give that a watch. Your interview on Let's Talk Music. It was good. Really good.
Oh, thank you.
Nice one, that. Cool. Right, I might as well get us kicked off. I think good evening, everybody. I hope you are well. Hope you've all had a lovely weekend. We are live. We are Regional One. And tonight we have on In Search of Sun. How are we doing, sir?
Hello. Yeah, I'm all good, man. I'm very good. How are you guys?
Yeah, very well.
good.
Thank you. Very well. So, yeah, like I say just now, we kind of caught you on the tail end of a Let's Talk Music interview, had a watch through that. And then out of nowhere, Harry from Hammerdown messaged and said, oh, do you want these guys on? And we were like, yes, absolutely. It just happened to be basically the same day that we'd found you on YouTube that we had that message. So perfect.
Was it actually?
Yeah, man. Sometimes the stars align.
Stars certainly do align, and you gotta love Harry. He's a very good meddler,
A
isn't
good,
he?
hard-working man, yes.
Hard-working man indeed. Yes.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think I don't know if I was on with you at the time, Callum. I was listening through some of the tracks, so I think I was listening to Contagious, and we were like, "Oh man, these guys are sick." And then we just had a message off Harry. I was like, "Let's go."
he's watching.
So fucking weird, man.
Is
So
he
weird.
in here? Like,
Wow.
Harry, I know you're listening. Probably not right now, but from the future, I
Yeah.
know you're there. Cool. We've just had a few comments already. So Marie says, "Oh, thanks you. It was great having you on." So of course.
Thank you for having us on, Marie. Hope you're doing well. Looking forward to seeing you at the London show you're coming to, aren't you? I think it's what you
Oh
said.
yeah, oh
Yes.
yeah. I heard there will be a steak bake involved. So
There'll be a steak bake involved. Yeah.
Katie says that Roster Mummy is here and watching. That you all behave.
Love you, mummy.
Hell yeah!
So good, man. They're so lovely. It's just so good to be surrounded by good people in this industry, particularly because,
Yeah, man.
as I'm sure you boys know just as well as we do, there are some nasty people in the industry, and sadly, these are the nasty ones, and these are the really good ones, and it's really hard to come by the good ones. And I feel like that we are very blessed knowing the wonderful people that are people like Katie, Marie, and Harry, and all these people. It's great just having them on your team, and subsequently makes every single band within that circle feel like one massive team. It's cool, man. It's very nice and it feels good.
Absolutely, yeah, 100% agree with that. Catherine Walker says, "Where's the rest of the boys?" Well, on our part, Aaron's in the oven and Stevie is missing.
As always.
Yeah.
Every week.
Unconfirmed.
Yeah, I think it's always mental when it's all of us on.
Yeah. It would be too many of us.
Yeah.
And on my part, if you're asking about my boys, Faz is on his honeymoon currently.
Oh, congratulations.
Him and his new wife Chelsea, lovely girl, and they're both on like this crazy like almost 3 month tour, I guess, just going all over the world and stuff. It's amazing. It's cool. So he's out of the picture for now. Rory is grazing in a field somewhere, eating plenty of carrots because he's a little bunny pig. Sean is probably, I don't know, sitting on an altar somewhere, channeling some form of energy, positive energy.
That's him there behind us.
Yeah, there he is. Yeah, Sean's just turned into a giant orb of wonderful blue and pink haze. And Dave, I imagine Dave is probably working. Bless him.
Every band
working
has
on
its
being an
workhorse.
arsehole.
Yeah. Marie says she is indeed coming to London. Very much looking forward to her steak bake. So never mind the show, Marie. Yeah,
forget the show. Just get me a steak bake, would you?
So when is it you guys are playing in London then?
We are playing on London. It's the last show of this headline tour that we're doing. It's on May the 11th, and it's at Water Rats,
very nice.
Which we're very excited for. And I'll probably end up plugging this tour a million times in the next 12 minutes. But we're going on tour. It's our first ever headline tour. We're very excited. We're very nervous, but no, the excitement outweighs the nerves. So we're going all the way from Glasgow down to London, May the 3rd, all the way to May the 11th. Get your tickets at insearchofsun.com.
I will grab a ticket link for you guys now and pop it in the chat. So Callum, I'll hand over to you. Let's kick this off.
You're doing like a proper tour as well, where it's one after the other, isn't it? Like one day
proper tour.
Well, no, we go on tour. We're like, we got 4 dates all in 2 weeks. That's a tour, basically.
Is that the like? No, man,
special, is it?
We've done that, man. Is that the whole like planning the weekends around work, right?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, dude, you've got to do it, and as long as you do like at least 2 consecutive weekends in a row, you can call it a tour. Yeah. It's fine.
Oh, yeah. We may have one for summer planned.
Nice. Yeah, but it's proper tour. It's good, man. Consecutive dates, and we're looking forward to it. I just can't wait. I just want to get back on stage again and just go fucking bonkers. Whether it sounds good or not, I don't care. I just want to go bonkers. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. So you said it's your first headline tour. I guess you've been building up sort of an audience around the country with a lot of like support acts, doing the odd headliner here and there.
Yeah, we have slowly but surely. I mean, COVID, as I'm sure for you guys and everybody else, it kind of just screwed everything up. And we just before COVID, we were on such a high. We just did a run of shows with Bad Wolves in the UK, and and COVID happened, and everything just went down the toilet, man. So we kind of had to start up again. And last year was that slow kind of build to working on getting us to a point again where we were just building up the buzz again, letting people know that we're still here and that we're coming back. So yeah, we did like a testing the waters kind of thing. We did a headline show in London in July last year. That was the first show that we had done in 4 years. And it was amazing, man. We sold it out. It was really good. And
good.
It was great, man. And then we went on tour with Scarlet Riot, which was even better. And that was cool, playing the sold out crowds every night. And people seemed to dig us, which we weren't expecting, but it happened. And then we were like, fuck it, man. So we decided to do a headline tour. First one. You got to do it. You just got to do it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Dive in the deep end. Go for it.
Yeah, man. None of us can swim, but fuck it.
Hopefully you'll float, you never know.
Yeah.
Nice one. I think let's, if you're up for it, Callum, we'll go back to the start then. In Search of Sun, tell us how the name came about. How you guys formed also?
Oh God, how long have you got for well, in terms of how we formed, it was the summer of 2000 and holy shit, 11, I think it was, and I was in the pub. There's this local pub that we used to go to, and my old band from school used to play gigs in this place with Dave, one of our guitarists, old band. So we kind of knew each other, and he was aware that I was trying to start a band at the time. And for years, I couldn't get a band together. Like, I just couldn't find musicians. So I go into the pub. We're both kind of a bit drunk, and he goes, "Hey man, how's the band going?" And I was like, "Well, can't find anyone. I can't find anyone to jam with." And he goes, "Dude, you know I play guitar, right?" And I went, "Oh yeah, I did know that. I've played a gig with your band before." So he starts playing me this riff, and you know what? I wish I'd kind of kept this sound file, because I remember listening to this riff and going, "Oh, this dude's really good." So we started jamming, and then in comes Faz, and then Sean, and then Rory, I think, was the last edition, and kind of just went from there, man. We just kind of went from there. But we used to be called Driven. We were somewhat of a different sounding band. We was quite metalcore back then, and we kind of just started going in a different direction musically, just naturally. We've all got a lot of all come from different walks of life. We've got a lot of different influences and stuff. So we kind of started going in this almost funky metal-esque direction. And we had written our debut album, The World Is Yours, which is turning 10 this year. Fucking hell, man. Turning 10 this year. And we were like, before this comes out, we were kind of all in agreement that we should change the name, because we felt that the music, since the Driven, had already matured and was still maturing with the stuff that we were writing post The World Is Yours. So, and there was a song on that, or there is a song on that album called In Search of Sun. And we felt that kind of just embodies everything that we're about, you know, like always striving for something, and well, for want of a better word, you know, always looking for that light and kind of chasing that dream. As cheesy as it is, that's kind of what it is, man. We're 5 hungry motherfuckers, and we don't stop. So yeah, and we're in the UK, so everyone's looking for the sun.
Yeah. Which is out early this year, I will say. Fair enough. Nice one, February. Give you credit there.
We have had a few very, very nice days, I've got to admit. It's been great.
So lucky, man. It's been so nice.
Yeah.
No, that's fantastic. Really, really good name there. Obviously, I had a bit of a listen through some of the tracks, get a bit of an idea of you guys, and I've looked at the more recent stuff more so. Or at least, I guess, more recent music videos. So Contagious was a favorite for me, I think. Absolute powerhouse of a track, that is.
Oh, thank you, man.
Yeah, that is a fucking banger. I will link that one in chat for the guys who are curious. Please do have a listen to Contagious, either during the stream if you're sick of my voice, or after the stream. So it's there when you're ready. Enjoy. Kate says you smashed the stage at HRH also. Big deal.
Oh, yeah, that was really good fun. And once again, that was all down to Katie that we got Hard Rock Hell last year, which was amazing. So thank you again, Katie. We had a blast. It was just great, man. It was great.
Fantastic. And Catherine Walker says, "Motherfunkers." Very nice.
Motherfunkers. Yes.
So I guess when it comes to your guys' songwriting and the sound that you've gone for, have you got any sort of major influences that brought that together? Because from my understanding, like you say, you've got that kind of heavier background from the metalcore end, but also this kind of funky sound, very much quite a driven funk kind of noise, you know what I mean? So yeah, have you got any sort of inspirations that brought that on, or is it something that came about quite naturally?
Probably a little bit of both. Like we've never heavily been into listening to our favorite bands, for example, and going, yeah, let's try and do something like that. It's always just been someone writes a riff. We're like, yeah, that's cool. How can we make this groove instead of just putting a standard over it? We're always trying to find ways to make it, just to funk it up. And I guess naturally, or like with everyone, like your kind of influences kind of subliminally or subconsciously dictate where that goes, which is cool. So yeah, but we're into all sorts of stuff, man. Like metal is still in the core of our hearts. My favorite band is and it always will be Pantera, and that they were the reason I got into music in the first place. And like even my IEMs have CFH on them, man. I fucking love them. reason for everything is how it all started for me. But we're all into all sorts of stuff: Pantera, Slayer, all the old school metal, but then moving into like bands like Incubus. It's another one of my favorite bands. All of us actually, one of our favorite bands, and all the way into hip hop, R&B, trance. Dave is really into trance. It's just comes from everywhere, man. And I think you can really catch elements of it in all of our songs, particularly on the last album, or the last full-length album that we actually released, Virgin Funk Mother. So yeah, man. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. Say some of the kind of atmospheres and I guess samples that you guys have created on that album, actually. So, is that something you guys write, or is that something you tend to work on with a producer, or do you already have ideas and demos ready for those?
Usually, ideas and demos ready for them. There was only one song that we kind of had, and it was just by chance that we had a producer. Oh, someone. I'd say we had a producer. It was the song Rhythm, which we dropped in 2020. It's also what it's actually going to be on remastered on this upcoming EP that we're releasing just before we go on tour. But
nice.
We had this demo of Rhythm, and it almost sounded, in its very early stages, we kind of composed this almost ska sounding thing, which was odd, but it was really cool. But I can't remember. I think it was like our manager, our co-manager Tori. He'd given it to one of his friends who's like a producer, and he was like, "What about this?" And he played it just really roughly, and it's essentially what you hear now on the studio version. We were just blown away. But that's the only kind of producer, or only time we've worked with someone else that's kind of helped in a producer capacity up until now. Apart from that tune, it's just been us and composing whatever and just kind of bouncing ideas off each other. And
nice. Yeah. So I guess one or two you guys kind of synth friendly then. You know what's going on the synth side of stuff, is it?
Yeah, I'd say Rory, he's the tech dude in the band. He's the one that mixes a lot and composes or has all the projects and composes. He also sorts out all the tracks for our drummers SPD for live backing tracks and everything. So he has a nightmare of that because that's his responsibility. But he's big on the synths. Yeah. He's big on the synths, man. He's really, really good.
That's awesome, man.
I'd say Dave as well. He's really, because he, I guess, coming from that kind of trance influence and into artists like Tiesto and stuff like that, he's always coming up with all these interesting like synthy kind of rhythms that at first, like, there's no kind of time signature or anything to them. You can't work it out. It's quite funny.
It's a guitarist way of writing that.
Yeah.
We got one of those.
Great, man.
Stevie, guitarist, he likes to come in with a riff that makes absolutely no sense whatsoever rhythmically until, I reckon, a few sessions down the line where we're like, oh, that's where it fits. They're often very, should we say, free time.
Oh, definitely. And then they're just like, make it into this.
Yeah.
What? No, it's fine. It's just that. Yeah, but what, it doesn't have the time thing. Like, what is it? Can you count as you're playing? No, I can't count as I'm playing.
An odd cadence and like.
Yeah. There was this one riff on our first album, The World Is Yours. There's a song on there called Idle Crown. It's probably one of my favorites on that album, actually. And Dave was the one that came up with that riff, and he comes into the practice room one day, or the place that they used to live. A few of them used to live in the same place. Comes in, he's like, oh, check this riff out. And he comes in and he just starts going bam 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 bam. And we were like, but what timing is it? He's like, I don't know. I think there's like a beat missing on that bit, but then the second bit doesn't start. And we were like, what? For the life of me, I couldn't work it out. So we were kind of trying to experimenting, and then all of a sudden it's bam 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 bam, and it's got this groove to it that's so good. And I still don't really know how it works, but it works, and it's probably my
one
favorite.
Of those where they sort of catch up with each other eventually. One of those where they sort of cross over every now and then, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Nice,
yeah.
Dude. Nice one. Callum, I'm going to hand over to you, sir.
I don't know anything about time signatures.
Nor do I.
Just follow the drums. Everything's 4/4 really.
If you count it that way, yeah.
And if it's not, you can just say, no, I don't like that riff.
Yeah.
Let's just write something.
I don't know if it's applicable to a mass audience, really.
The old tricks.
Do you find with your songwriting, do you try and try to go with that funk angle, and like, you know, is it like someone just to be like a little bit different than your like metalcore ways, or is it just it's just all just come in?
It all just comes in, man. Honestly, it's just that funk influence has always been there, and we've embraced it. We've just embraced it, and it's just ended up going in that direction. But there are times like we still love the fucking heavy. We love the heavy, and who was I saying this? I was saying this to someone the other day, but there's another song we have called "Make Me Crazy," and the verses are just pure like it's just pure funk, whatever, and like. But then we were sitting in the room in the pre-production and trying to compose this thing, and I think it was me that said. In fact, it must have been because it's influenced by a live segment from a Pantera show, and I said to Rory, "He's like, what if we try and do something like this? You know, they go into this." Like extended section of this one song, and he was like, oh, that might be interesting, so we tried it. So halfway through this really funky, almost Chili Peppers sounding verse, it just goes into this dirty harmonics and like really heavy groove, and it just works, man, and it blends so well. Yeah, funk infused metal from the heart of London is our little log line, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
It's very good because a lot of bands are scared to almost like come out of their comfort zone, their box. You know, it's like, you know, because they want to appeal to a wider audience, but you know, sometimes they just got to be like, I want to make this, you know, and then hopefully if I like it, surely someone else somewhere is going to like it.
I think that's key, man. Honestly, if you're trying to appease other people and your heart's not in it, that's going to show. No matter who mixes or tracks your album, or whatever, it's the passion has to be there, man. So I think it's just you just write whatever comes out and don't think about, oh, we have to try and, you know, get in the charts, or we have to whatever. Just fucking write whatever you want to write, and if it does well, it does well. That's it.
Yeah,
really.
man, we talk about it quite a bit. Like people's bullshit filter is pretty good. Like they I think there's a hunger for authenticity at the moment, especially with, I guess, I mean, like we got things like people are kind of scared of AI. I think in general they're kind of a bit not necessarily scared, but unsure. You know, we're going to have this situation where we don't know what's been made by a human and what's not. So I think people are kind of hungry for that authenticity right now, and I mean, I think they always have been, probably, but it just seems to show a lot more now. So if you're writing stuff that you want to hear at that particular point in time, probably someone else is going to like it too, because it's very authentic. I don't think there's a more authentic way to go about it. Yeah.
Couldn't agree more.
Mm-hmm. If you guys had the opportunity, just out of bands that are touring at the moment, who do you reckon you'd want to support the most? Or who do you think you'd fit with really well right now?
Okay. I would absolutely love to tour with Bring Me the Horizon, man. Yeah. I think every band would. Just to say that we played with Bring Me the Horizon, but more so just to be able to watch that stage show from the side of the stage.
Yeah, man, yeah. I want to see it all get built as well. Like, I watched they did like a minute-long short where it was the stage being built at Download for the set they brought there, and you realize how much went into it. Like, because they showed it right from sketch all the way up to the actual thing being built. You're like, fuck, actually, you see why it costs so much now. Shit, like.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. But yeah, I would love to play with them. I'd also love to play with Bad Omens too. That'd be cool.
Yeah, man. Yeah, they would. I don't know if you saw Bring Me with Bad Omens recently, but that was pretty fucking good.
I caught some videos of it. It's very good.
Fantastic. Yeah, they can. We seem to get it more and more now down Bournemouth way, because Bournemouth was quiet for a bit. But now we're getting quite a lot more of the bigger tours down here. We've had, you know, Biffy Clyro, we had Queens of the Stone Age, Bring Me recently as well. And that was a pretty good show.
Got Gary Newman.
Nice.
Hell yeah, dude.
Who would you guys? Who would be your dream artist to?
Rick Astley for sure.
Rick Astley.
No, I don't know. Yeah, I think Bring Me at the moment also for me. Maybe Avenged Sevenfold would be a really good fit for us. We kind of have a few songs along those lines. More of the, I guess, into the classic rock area as well. Bands like Guns N' Roses would be, you know, really fun to play with. I was going to suggest for you guys though, because I went to see Nothing More up in Bristol this weekend. I don't know if you've listened to them or not, but you'd really suit them as a support. And alongside them, they're fucking they're really good.
We supported them. We toured with them back in
Holy
20.
shit.
Yeah, back in when was it? 20, I think 17 or 18. We went away with them for almost a month, just under a
Nice,
month.
man.
Like crazy, man, all over Europe. And yeah,
Man, I bet
fucking
that was
hell,
good fun.
do they put on every night side stage, just watching this infectious thing that they put on. It's unbelievable.
It's like
and
rock and roll dubstep, isn't it? I don't know. I don't really know what to call that stuff. Yeah.
It's a really weird amalgamation of sounds, man. It's just so, but it's great. It works, and they're also talented. And as a bonus, they are every last one of them are such lovely dudes.
Yeah, man. They seem really down
And their
to earth.
crew. Yeah, yeah, really.
Have you seen or heard of Sim? Japanese band.
No.
So there's for those out there who know it, they do one of the intro sequences for a show called Attack on Titan. They were supporting Nothing More, and they were wild, man. They were. If you haven't seen them live, I fully recommend checking out Sim. Not at all what I expected. I went in having only heard that Attack on Titan intro, so it's quite a metalcore song. It's quite like kind of early 2000s metalcore almost. Lots of melodies, high pitched stuff. But the rest of their set was kind of like, how would you explain it? It was kind of, there was a bit of a reggae element to it, but it was metal. It was very like Japanese Skin Dread. That'd be another band I think you guys would get on really well with that. And I know they are looking at putting together a tour later this year, so worth checking out.
We'll get Hounding then.
It'd be a good fit. That. It'd be a really good fit.
That would be really fun to tour with those guys.
Fucking be there for that.
Yeah.
Always partying.
Callum, what were your? Who would you like us to tour with?
I don't really know. Probably after seeing Queens of Stone Age. I'd watch her show every single day.
Yeah. Selfishly, yeah. You need something you can watch. So
yeah, I would just love that. I always love their music. And then, I don't even know. Someone like left field, like Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift, yeah.
That'd be really fun. I bet it'd be fun.
It would be really good. Massive stadium.
So, yeah. Managers left, right, and centre. Just everyone managing something. It'd be so good, so organised.
Yeah, they bring you out on stage. They pick you up late. Yep.
Oh, nice. I don't have to do anything.
Service.
Yeah.
Imagine playing the Super Bowl. What a ridiculous show that would be. What the hell? What even is that? It's the wildest thing I've ever seen. Well, I kind of wish that, like, I'd probably watch more football if, at half time they just flew out a guy in a jetpack or had fireworks with Beyonce or something like that. Yeah, that'd be pretty good.
Me too. I would. I'd watch
See what does well,
if
man.
that was the case.
I think Americans are probably the best at entertainment in the world, just in general. They're insane people. I love it.
Yeah.
Speaking of Americans, guys down in Bournemouth, we are playing with Pistols at Dawn next Wednesday. So if you can make it down, come down to the Anvil, by the way. Just a quick little plug there. Pistols at Dawn are crossing the pond just for you guys down in Bournemouth, just you, and about 14 other dates. So if you can't catch them in Bournemouth, go check them out elsewhere. They're absolutely awesome, and we look forward to seeing as many of you as possible. I'll get a ticket link into the chat. And Callum, back to you.
Back to me.
Yes.
Where are we?
Well, I'm sat here.
Relative to what?
I read words. I read all the words I prepared, and then they didn't go in my head at all every single time. Is there any live performances you've seen which have really like stood out to you and almost inspired, being like, I want to do something like that? Not that, but like that.
One that really sticks out to me would be, oh my god, it's ages ago now, but Rammstein at Download 2016.
Oh hell yeah, that was wild.
Good fucking god, that was ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
And we were lucky enough to, because they were headlining, so it was fine. It didn't clash, but we got to play that year, so we played like way early on in the day. So then we kind of had free reign to just walk around, catch some bands and whatever. And I just caught Rammstein, and it was just ridiculous, man. This fucking, and do you know how I realized they were on? Because I could not, well, obviously I could hear it, but like a big purple plume of smoke just fucking bellowing in the sky. and then I just heard that, and then I went over, and it's just mental.
That
Yes.
performance actually really stood out to me, I think, because they're obviously like a completely insane act to watch live, but it was really nice that at the end of the show they all sort of came out of character and gave a bow and everything. I didn't expect Rammstein to do that. That was cool. I thought that was a nice touch. I didn't see that coming at all. Like with these kind of heavy bands like Slipknot, for example, or a band very similar sort of thing where they're all masked up, they are characters. They keep in character right till the end. Whereas Rammstein, they kind of did their bows and stuff. I was like, nice, man, that was weird.
That is literally like pantomime. It finishes,
exactly,
and then you come out and do the bow.
It's like that keyboardist was just kind of being butt fucked on stage, and now he's thanking us for being here, and now I'm all
like,
confused.
and thank you.
Yeah. Surprised he can bend over, right? Good.
Be crazy. Apparently, Till's solo show he does is even more insane to a degree where it's pretty bad.
Kind of like Shock. The Shock value.
Yeah, because he uses like he throws like raw fish out on the stage, like out into the crowd and everything, and makes sexual intercourse with a book on stage. Apparently,
I'm just such an intellect. I just need to fuck a book.
Yeah,
yeah.
I bet that's a hard read.
Very nice. Oh god, that's the worst place to get a paper cut.
Yeah.
Every guy watching just went, oh.
That's it, cut the shroom.
I guess no, I'm not gonna. Quick, cover that.
Then we'll carry it on with. Is there any live performances you've done which you thought, which always stood out for you, either like from audience interaction or just the whole show in general, and like was a great show for you?
I would probably have to say there's a few of them, but I would probably have to say Download again 2016 because it was like 2010 was the last year that I actually went to Download because I just couldn't deal with it anymore. I couldn't deal with just going there and not playing. I don't know. It just hurt me a lot. It just hurt not to be playing, and like I was like, no, I got too much work to do. I'm just making a vow that I'm never coming back here unless I get to play it. So fast forward 6 years, and we got the offer and went and played it, and that was just really special because the show went well. We all sounded, well, I guess we all sounded good enough, but it was just great, and the whole place was just rammed. It was fucking rammed, and it was something that we had dreamt about our entire lives. And I had like a couple of friends in the crowd, like really close friends that were there. It was just amazing. It was like there's about 4,000 people, 3,000 or 4,000 people in front of us, and I was just looking at my friends like, man, this means everything. And then one of my best friends in the whole world, I hadn't spoken to her in maybe a year, and she calls me up after the show, and she was like, dude, I just want to say how fucking proud I am of you. Like, I remember you talking about this in school back in the day. And I started welling up, honestly, on the phone. That was like, it just meant the world to me. So that was, Download 2016. But there have been some really good, like, notable ones after that, especially actually with Nothing More, going out on tour with them and playing some of these places in Europe. I think Zurich was one of the dates, and I specifically remembered that one because it was the first show that I saw people singing my own words back to me, and I was like, what? Like, one, we're not even a big band, and two, we're in another fucking country that we've never played before. And there's there's the whole front row just singing these words back. I'm like, man, you're gonna make me cry. I just cry all the time.
That's pretty cathartic though. And for people who didn't manage to catch you guys at Download, there's a few videos I've seen circulating around, so do check them out if you get a chance. I think it's going to be pretty convincing, so have a look off there.
Thanks. Yeah, there are a few out there on the old YouTube. Is
it true out in Europe they kind of it's a bit of a I guess a different treatment that bands get? Because I know a lot of venues in the UK, the band kind of comes second in some places. I mean, with London especially, I've had a few situations in other acts that I've played in, where the club night is the real thing they want to do that night. So the band's on till maybe 9:30, 10, and then you're booted out And I had the situation where my gear was left out in the rain while I went to get the tour van, which was pretty upsetting.
Shit.
I was like, don't think we'll be back. But yeah, out in Europe, I've heard you get real good treatment from a few sources. So
yeah, your sources are correct, man. It's such a different world out there. You go in and it's just like headlines and supports. Like it doesn't matter if you're a support, you get treated equally, and that you go into the venue and there's platters of like meats and cheeses and drinks, and for the singers they've got like sliced lemons and ginger and tea and like everything. They really look after you there, man. Every single country, every single venue we played was the same treatment. And then we came back here to finish up on like the last UK shows, and it was like, yeah, guys, your changing room is in the disabled toilet.
Like covered. Yeah.
Like, yeah, welcome home.
And I always see like venues and promoters always like, oh, I just don't understand why the English music scene isn't doing so well lately.
That's why.
It doesn't cost much to like buy some ginger and a lemon. That's pretty nice. Like, just that little bit of thought. And yeah, that's a bit like, maybe sounds needy from an Englishman, but that would be a nice thing to do.
Absolutely, man. It changes the vibe. It's just the gesture, even if it is literally,
yeah,
you know, a clump of ginger, a lemon, and a kettle. Yeah. Not even if there's no cup. It's just the gesture.
Yeah,
this
they
is
put
cool.
the thought in, man. Like,
yeah, it's the thought that counts, and it just makes everything. It just adds a little positive spin or positive bump onto everything. I can't find the word.
Certainly.
You know
and like the more positivity you have, the more positivity you have that day, obviously the more it's going to wear off and the better you're going to perform, to be honest. It's like, if you go in feeling good, a lot of people assume that for like heavier music, you need to, I think it was Corey Taylor about sort of 5-6 years ago or something, was talking about how he wrote his best songs when he was sad and stuff like that. I was like, I don't know, man. Like, if you just get a good vibe going, if you just have good positive energy, your performance is probably going to be pretty good. You know, like you want to feel good on stage. Like, you don't want to feel like a piece of shit.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So yeah,
I think
writing setting the stage like that's nice.
I think writing and performing, definitely two different things. I think for writing, as long as you have that love and passion for creating music, which we all do, like I think sometimes it's good to in fact, I think it's almost imperative that you write when you're feeling all sorts of different things, like happy, sad, angry, whatever, jealous, whatever the emotion might be. But then because the truest version of yourself comes out onto that,
and you can channel that, right? So
yeah, exactly. But then live, I don't care if you're singing or screaming the angriest, most disgusting, hellish like song in the world. If you're not up there feeling happy and like feeling good about it, it's not going to sound good. You know, you got to be happy, feeling good, and then it will sound more disgusting and brutal.
Yeah, it's a slightly ironic thing, that, isn't it?
yeah. I really do believe that, though, man. It's all 100%. About PMA.
Every noise.
Not pre-menstrual attitude, positive mental attitude.
I was going to let that one hang. Right? Did you what you said on that stream the other
night? Yes, menstruation.
Man, I'm doing my best to reel it in. Like, I've been watching a lot. I don't know if you watch much stand-up comedy, but there's a really good show I watched called Kill Tony, filmed out in the States, and it's basically they draw names out of a hat, and you can sort of sign up for this, and it's in front of a live audience, and you got 60 seconds to do a stand-up bit. And it's like, oh my God. And basically the panel is like a judging panel of like professional comedians who are just there to savage whoever fucks up. So I'm like really on best behavior on these streams lately.
Oh God, I'll have to check that out, man. We went to a comedy show recently.
Yeah.
At the Comedy Store in London, but it was like the one where they each get like 5 minutes or whatever to do it, and they were all relatively good, apart from one guy that I just thought, this cat's not very good. His timing wasn't there, and like the laughs in the audience were kind of, he'd say something, then there'd be a beat, and then the audience would kind of have this forced, unenthusiastic laughter, so you knew that it was this dude's just shit. Bless him.
Did he take it well? Did he at least bomb well? You know, like.
He carried on. He got to the end, and he did get an applause at the end. But I think the applause was more for like, you know, good job for not just walking off stage. Well done. Now fuck off, so we can have someone good up here. Kind of thing. So,
man, you'd like Kill Tony. I think you'd enjoy Kill Tony.
I'll make a note of that. Yeah, I'll check it out, dude.
Very, very good stuff. They just recently, actually, because I'm quite into the comedy scene, just watching it online mainly, but I've done a few live events. There's a few down in Bournemouth that are really good down at the Four Horsemen. Big shout out to those guys. But yeah, they just sold out 2 arenas 2 days in a row for a comedy show where people put their name in a bucket. Like, that's incredible. If that's not building a scene, I don't know what is. That's crazy.
That's
But
amazing.
the arena shows are very good. I do recommend.
That's really cool.
Yeah, man. And what you said about timing with the comedian, I think a lot of people don't really think about that. Like, comedy is all about timing. It's very close to music. I don't know about you. For me, it's like the only one thing that I think I'd find harder than being a front man would be doing stand-up comedy. That's like that and karaoke are the 2 worst fears for me.
Yeah. It is all about timing, man, because it just doesn't work otherwise. It's got to be right. You have to. Most people don't, or a lot of people don't seem to think that comedy routines are rehearsed. Like, it's all rehearsed, man. Everything's got to be like super perfect.
Yeah, massive difference between comedy and wit. Like, if you can be witty, that's so different to a proper organized stand-up routine, isn't it?
For
Very
sure.
different thing.
Yeah.
Wit's what we do. We cover a moment where the bassist doesn't know how to tune his fucking strings, right, Callum? What? What?
No.
No, it's never happened.
I forgot that you guys were on that. Are you doing the whole run of shows then with Pistols at Dawn? I totally forgot you were on that lineup. Or
yeah, no, we're just on the Bournemouth show. Yeah,
Cool.
we're just doing the local show. We've got some stuff coming up in June, July time. I won't say too much right now, but we'll be touring with another band on and off. That'll be real good fun.
Nice. Oh, looking forward to knowing more about that. That should be a good show though. The Anvil. Damn, that'd be really cool.
Anvil's always good. I see you guys played there a few times. Just looking at some of your history. So yeah, when did you last play down Bournemouth, do you reckon?
October, actually. That was with Scarlet Riot.
Oh,
that was the first time we'd been back to the Anvil in years. But yeah, we did it pre-COVID a few times. But yeah, we were there back in October with Scarlet Riot. That was cool. It was fun. It's a great venue, man. Loved it.
Yeah, it's good fun, that one. It's always like, it always feels really familiar. I think we put on some of our kind of more exciting shows there just because it feels so homely. We've done the whole encore thing, and we used to never do encores, but then we were like, it could be a bit of fun to play around with it a bit. We did a headliner where, I don't know if you remember what the backstage of Anvil is. It's that cupboard, right?
Yeah.
So 3 of us walked
backstage
off. Aaron tried to walk off, realized he couldn't, so he just stayed on the drums. And just got us 3, his bass and the guitar, all in this cupboard. Yeah. We just like squeeze in there. I was like, so you guys want to cheer so we can get out of here or what? Come on.
So
it was
good.
That was a squeeze, that, and it was a warm one as well. Steamy room. And yes, Katie, good shout. We are indeed up in the Midlands with Gin Annie in Cannock, and also Rocks Off Festival in Norwich. You are right. Thank you very much for the prompt. I appreciate that. I will pin that also. Yeah. So we got. So we're actually trying to sort of move into the Midlands area and up north of London. Basically, we've not really ventured too far north of London. We've primarily been in the south and southwest, but this year is all about moving further north and hopefully maybe looking at Europe toward the end of the year just for a show, more like a holiday with a show included, I think. But yeah, what was your guys' experience when it came to sort of getting out of Europe? Was nothing more your first time out of town, so to speak, or had you been out to Europe before that?
Yeah, that was our first time out. Scary and exciting, but yeah, first time. It was great, man. There was a lot of shit to sort out prior to that, carnets and whatnot, and a lot of money to spend, but it's totally worth it, man, because it's just great, and the food's better, and as we've discussed, every single promoter and venue treats you better in Europe.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm desperate to get us to like North Italy or something, somewhere like pleasant temperature, good food, probably play a show. That'd be nice.
Yeah. Italy was great. We did a show on that run. We did a show in Milan. And that was just beautiful. Oh, the ice cream there. Fuck me. It was so good.
Have you guys, just completely off topic here regarding Italy and ice cream, have you guys seen James May, Our Man in Italy? That's
Oh,
That's worth a watch. That's good. They show how they make the ice cream, and he creates his own flavor, and it's curious. I'm not sure I'd try it, but it's worth a watch.
How do they make it?
How do I explain? I don't think I could possibly do it justice, to be honest. But yeah, there's. It depends on the ingredients as well. I think the fresher the ingredients over there, the better. But yeah, a lot of stirring and adding pastes together.
Making it sound really cryptic. So all I have in my head, if this guy, you say it's a lot of paste and stuff, I can just imagine this. That's all
I'm
I
sure
see,
it's
man.
happened at some point in history. It's not going to be a 0% chance that hasn't happened. So someone has to have done that.
Definitely.
Yeah, man. Right, back to music.
Back to music.
Oh man, Callum, you got a few more?
We could go back to music, but not back to music at the same time, because you did the music video for Contagion. The song is part of like a horror film soundtrack, and was that also your film, which you
it
directed?
Yeah. So I co-directed that. So it was my second movie, and we had the pleasure of writing or providing the end credit song to it. We actually wrote the end credit song to the first movie, Hosts, which if you want to, you can watch it on I think it's on Prime, or I think it's on Shudder. We composed that for the sake of Hosts, and it was like a little bonus song. You can check that out. There's a video for it too, actually. But then Contagious, that's off of the upcoming EP, and it's something that we released a little bit back to kind of coincide with the North American release of Feed Me, which is about cannibalism.
Following the death of his wife, a broken man spirals into an abyss of night tremors and depression and finds himself in the home of it's gone away. Hold on. In the home of a deranged
cannibal.
Sorry,
convinces him to take his life in the worst way imaginable.
Brilliant. There you go. Yes, I'm gonna. So we were thinking of doing like a little movie watch through on a live stream at some point. So that might be a good one to write down, Callum, for the guys who I can't announce. So let's I'll get that on the list.
The secret.
Give it a watch, man. If you're into just, I mean, it's essentially like it's a black comedy, but it's got some really, really horrific moments, really dark moments, kind of emotional moments as well. But essentially, it's just kind of told on this platform of subtle, tongue-in-cheek stupidity.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
that looks great. Yeah. So, how did you get into that then? Is that something you've been doing for quite a while? You say obviously this is the second time you've directed, right?
Second time, and but it was co-directed, so it was two of us that directed those last two movies, and I'm about to literally get stuck into directing technically movie number three, but technically my first as a sole director in my own right. So
awesome.
That's being worked on as we speak. So busy, but it's good, and it'll be another horror movie, and it's fucking ridiculous. But then I've got the bug, man. There's another movie I've started writing as well, which I shouldn't. I kind of just need to wait, but I've started writing it, and it's just ridiculous, man. It's
and creativity is never linear, is it?
No,
it just comes oh god.
I need to just learn to do one thing at a time, because it's it's hard enough. It's
impossible.
It's tough, man. One thing's hard enough, but then when you're doing, you're part of the machine of running the band as well, and then got other shit to do. It's crazy, but yeah, it's good, man. So yeah, look out, movie number 3. I can't say the name yet. Can't really divulge anything yet, but we will be going into production soon in the coming months.
That's very exciting, man. Congratulations on that. And so what kind of got you into the horror genre? Is it something you've been a fan of for quite a while, or is it what made you want to write horror, I guess?
I grew up watching horror movies, man. I just gravitated towards them, and I think it's because of the whole don't press the red button kind of thing. We had this big cabinet in our lounge when we were kids, and my parents were into horror movies, so they had all these oh my god, like Polaroid or Memorex or whatever they were called, like, you know, cardboard VCR, VHS things that you would tape onto the tapes on. And like they had these labels on there, and there was just A Nightmare on Elm Street on one of them. And I was like, wow, that name is like, that sounds really like, sounds creepy. I want to know what that's. So I was like, Mum, what's that? And she's like, no, you can't watch that. You can't watch that. So anyway, my parents go out one day, and I remember I was 8. I was 8 years old. Parents went out. Me and my older sister Rachel, we were like, come on, man, let's watch Nightmare on Elm Street. Let's watch it. We watched it, and I was just blown the fuck away. I was like, I'd never seen anything like that before. I was always into horror. Like I was massive on Halloween. Like every year I tried to look as scary as I could, but I'd never seen anything quite like Nightmare on Elm Street until I was 8 years old, and probably messed me up somewhat. But it was fucking amazing. And after that, that just opened this portal, or this place in my head. I was just obsessed with horror. And then very soon after that, I discovered The Exorcist. But that was like, I was not allowed to watch that. My mum was like, no, like they deliberately tried to prevent me from finding it to watch it. Didn't last long. I ended up watching it somewhere. And but I was so obsessed with it that I think I had a version of it, but I couldn't watch it at home because my parents were always there. And I think I must have taken it to my grandparents. Bless them. I used to go there every Sunday or every other Sunday for lunch. And it was just me, them, and my uncle that were there. And I remember putting this tape in and forwarding to all the crucial parts, all the best parts of the movie. And I had my cassette player recorder thing on me, and I was recording the sounds of it. You know, like, stick your cock up her ass, all these fucking all the lines from the movie, the best lines, and like, your mother sucks cocks in hell, whatever. And I'd record the audio and just play it back when I got home. I was like, this is amazing. And yeah, I think actually, in hindsight, I think I was a bit of a fucked up kid, to be honest. But
you know, honestly, that's a great backstory when it comes to like directing films, though. How did it start? Well,
well, yeah. But that was it, man. After that, it was just obsessed. And then I discovered Hellraiser and all the other classics, and the Halloweens, Friday the 13th, blah blah blah. Yeah, and then I always wanted to make movies, but I always wanted to make music too, and I just ended up getting into music first. And a few years later, eventually, when it got to 2019, and we eventually made Hosts, which was the first feature-length film. So yeah, and here we are today. Yeah,
that's fantastic. And so how did you go about doing that? Was it sort of self-funded? Did you write a script, get a screenplay out there? How does that come about for sort of a first-time director?
First time, it's always tough, man. You really have to. You have to make things happen yourself. Like with any profession, any creative profession, like being in a band, you have to pay to play. You know, you just have to do it. So we're kind of sitting there, and we were like, well, no one's going to give us, you know, $500,000 or $1 million to go and make our debut film. No matter how much we tell them we're capable, how good we are, whatever, it's just not going to happen. So we'd spent the best part of a year like building up this YouTube channel, which was essentially just talking in a very witty, cringeworthy, not taking ourselves seriously style, talking about how to make or how to do filmmaking on a very low budget. And at the end of each episode, we would do a really stupid short film. And it was kind of like, you know, here's something that's just like a 5-minute short film or whatever. But the production value was always really good. So we spent the best part of a year building that channel up to the point where we were like, right, what have we got? So Rich, the co-director, and he was also the director of photography for the movie, he was like, well, we can use my house. Like, cool, we've got a house. This is what we have. How can we utilize it? Now, this is how many people I went away and I wrote the script, and I was like, right, this is the story. It takes place in the house. I've written it around the house because that's all we have to do. We can use outside for free. We can use fields and whatever else for free. Now we just need to break that script down and work out exactly how much we need. So we've discovered after having someone, Craig Hind, he did the budget breakdown for us, and we realized okay, we need about 25 grand, which is still, may as well be $1 million. And so we decided to reach out to the subscribers of the YouTube channel to not crowdfund, because we just think crowdfunding's it's kind of a bit shit, I think, nowadays. It's kind of done with, and so we thought, well, let's do crowd investments. It's the same way that you would approach an investor and say, please invest 25 grand in my film in return for X amount of equity in the back end of the film or in the business. We did the same thing. But essentially it was just a few different investors or subscribers putting in smaller increments of money for a smaller part of that overall percentage that we were willing to give away. And so eventually we raised, I think it was 23 grand in total, which was enough for us to do it. And we did it, and and we sold it, and we made all the investors their money back. And then Feed Me, the second one, came around, and that was like, I wanted to do that a bit more proper this time. So we actually went and sought out proper investment, and that was a larger budget. That was more in the region of 40 or 50 grand. But that was gotten through like proper investment and sitting here drawing up contracts. It was like I running a business without ever having run a business before, kind of thing. And we were sitting there like, wow, this is weird being on that side of the coin. So sorry, I've gone off on such a tangent, but that's essentially how
that's why we do this.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's literally kind of how it happened. And the idea is to kind of build. First one was 23K. Second one was between 40 and 50. The next one will be significantly more, just because of there's 2 movies on paper now that essentially are financial successes. The last one, the most recent one, being actually profitable. But now it's kind of to the point where the stripes have been earned, and it is now justifiable to ask or to get an investment of a much larger amount, but in the grand scheme of things, still a very small budget in film world, to be able to go and do something with a lot more, just a bigger team, and bigger movie, bigger production value. Maybe get, maybe there's space for like a well-known actor to come in there, which obviously helps sell the film more. Like all these things that kind of you unlock each time you do it. So
that's fantastic.
Number 3.
Hell yeah, dude! No, fantastic. Congratulations on that. I take a bit of interest in the movie industry, so it's really nice to see sort of upcoming, I guess, I don't know whether to call it a studio, but definitely upcoming directors, upcoming sort of new projects. I mean, you see these Marvel films having budget of $300 million upwards, and they're all flopping.
Yeah.
So I do really hope there's a resurgence in sort of the lower end of the budget side of things. And actually, I don't know about you, I think there's a really big gap at the moment, or at least there seems to be a really big gap in the entertainment industry for the mid-budget films. They don't seem to exist anymore. There seems to just be, it's either hundreds of millions, or it's like small sort of, a Blumhouse sort of production, like the smaller, I guess, in the hundreds of thousands rather than the millions. But that mid-ground seems to have sort of disappeared from the movie industry, which is odd, because like a good mid-budget action movie will always make its money back, I swear. You never see it
definitely, man. It's all about who you've got in the movie, man, and it's them who sells it. It's the face of the movie. But yeah, I've seen that too, and it's definitely a thing. Like it's just this. It's kind of a gray area, because if you do a movie for the budgets that we've done them for, that's not going to be able to afford named actor in there. However, because it's such a small amount of money, provided it does well and you push it hard, which we did, and we managed to cut a good deal with it with a distributor out in America, it made money and it made a profit, blah, blah, blah. It's a success. But when you start going into the kind of mid-tier within the low budget filmmaking territory, by mid-tier, I mean anything kind of past 300 or 400 and up to 700 or 800, between 3 and 800,000, it's really hard for some reason to make your money back, because you can still only really afford a small amount of talent or named people, which is only going to go potentially so far. So it's really hard to make that kind of money back.
That middle area, for sure.
Exactly, yeah. So it's always best to cap it off at around 2.
From my understanding, also, around that sort of cost of a film as well. Is like it's almost that again, or at least half that again for the marketing budget a lot of the time as well, isn't it? So you've then got to make that back, which I know certain huge companies with a mouse in it didn't really disclose last year, but I know that has been a real issue over the last sort of 2 years, especially more so since the lockdowns, I think, where people obviously aren't as interested in going out in public, it would seem, to go to the cinema. The cinemas aren't doing as well as they could. It's a bit of a shame that, because I don't know about you, man. I used to be on Cineworld every week. I'd be there for something. Didn't really matter what it was. I just wanted to see something in the cinema. Big sound system, big visuals. Let's go. But yeah,
me too, man. Me too.
Miss it, dude. Miss it. Because honestly, now I kind of cancelled my subscriptions and stuff because nothing's coming out, I must say, that I really have any interest in. It's all kind of B-movie, Marvel stuff at the moment. That's what.
Are you into horror?
Do you know what? I was going to bring that up next. Horror is actually my absolute blind spot. I've never really got into horror, but
I love horror.
Knows a lot more about it. I was going to ask you if you wouldn't mind recommending a few.
I would certainly, sir. Okay, so and I don't give a fuck who disagrees with this, right? But the best, 100% best movie that has come out in or horror movie that's come out in my lifespan thus far is a movie called Hereditary. It came out in 2018.
That rings a bell.
Director is a dude called Ari Aster, or Ari Aster, Ari Aster. Oh my god, I've seen that movie 14 times. I watched it for the 14th time the other day. In fact, I fell asleep, so 13 and a half times, right? But it is unbelievable, and it's a movie that essentially tells the story of grief and loss and betrayal and manipulation, but on the platform of like this supernatural horror, and it is fucking unbelievable, man. Like the supernatural, the horror side of it is kind of it's secondary to the real shit that's going on, and that is what's terrifying, and it's done so well, and every time you watch it you'll find something new. It's just amazing. So yeah, Hereditary, I would recommend that. It's a slow burn, so just be patient with it. It's really good. And then I'll say, just for shock value, watch a movie called Speak No Evil. It's a Danish film that I discovered. Actually, no, I didn't discover it. It was Sean, our drummer. He discovered it, and he texts me. He knows I'm into my messed up films. So he texts me one night, and he goes, "Dude, watch Speak No Evil. Just watch it. Don't watch the trailer. Just go watch it." I went, "All right." By the end of that film, my jaw was open, and I was like, and I've seen some fucked up shit. Like, I have seen some fucked up shit, and it's one of few films where I've just been there, just in awe, and like just pure like, what the fuck? It's almost felt sick because it's done so well. It was written, directed, and acted so well, and it all builds up to this poignant bit at the end. It's fucking unbelievable. I won't say any more. I don't want to give it away, but watch that.
Yeah, I had a little Google, but I've not looked into the plot or anything. But it does look like they are making a Western remake of it with James McAvoy at the helm, so that could be interesting. Keep an eye on that.
That could
I love
be
a bit of
interesting.
McAvoy.
Yeah,
I think Split was really good. Well, I say the film wasn't really good, but he was really good in it. I think his character was incredible, and the actor's just phenomenal. Anyway, that was cool. So I say I'm not a complete virgin to horror. But yeah, I've never got into the horror genre, which I should do. We've got a horror music video kind of thing. So yeah, kind of. It's all animated. It's more like Tim Burton than
oh, nice.
Hitchcock, but yeah, I'll send you a link in a bit. See what you think.
Yeah, please do, man. Please do.
That was a lockdown job. That one. It's good.
Nice.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. Cheers for that. You know what? I will ask just one last question with regards to horror, if you don't mind. Is there a particular scene, and this is loaded because I had one that came to mind, and I heard this question in another podcast recently. Is there a particular scene of any horror movie that has stuck with you that still kind of bothers you a bit?
Bothers me in the sense of it frightens me.
Yeah, a little bit, or it just makes you a little bit on edge. Something's a bit weird about it, because I can name exactly one. That I'll give you that in a moment.
Well, the first thing that comes to my head is it's not really it's frightening, but it's not a horror movie. It's a French film called Irreversible. Heard of that?
I think I've seen it actually.
Yeah. So the rape scene in that movie is
that is rough. I know what you mean.
that sticks with you. But again, it's done so well, and intentionally long and just locked off on one shot because that is how it would fucking happen. Like no cuts, no breathing space, no blinking. That's stuck with me. That was really good. And I think probably that, man. That's the one that stuck out to me the most in terms of any kind of movie. But I would also say Hereditary, but I won't say what.
Yeah, I'm gonna give that a watch.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. For me, it was always because I saw it as I don't remember how old I was, but Signs. There's the scene where like the alien, if you will, it comes out in the birthday party across the back. That fucked me up for a long time. That
that messed a lot of people up, man.
Yeah.
It's done quite well.
It's perfect.
I think.
It's actually perfect. Like the graphics, when you look at it now, you can see how kind of it's aged, but it's still just not quite. It still fucks with me. That I'm like, ooh, yeah.
Is that when he has the knife
it's
under
creepy.
the door as well? Isn't it? When he's putting the knife on the door to see where it is, that's always like.
Weirdly, a bit of a obviously it's not a horror film, but War of the Worlds, the Tom Cruise version, there's a really good scene where it's more thriller, I guess, more tense, but where the arm's coming through and he's hiding from it, that was pretty tense. That was well done.
That is frightening, that film. I found that quite frightening. Oh shit, Event Horizon. Sorry, that's just come to my head. Watch Event Horizon. So it's a bit old now, but holy shit, man, that's creepy. That's creepy. Just the way they do these kind of flashes of like hell, and just the way it's done, man. It's very just very good, very creepy.
So many good directors seem to come out of horror. I mean, for me, a big one is probably Sam Raimi when it comes to like the Spider-Man films. You can see the horror tropes in Spider-Man, like all the Dutch angles, everything is just you're like, oh, I see how this works. Because if you think about it, the Green Goblin scenes in Spider-Man 2001 are actually kind of like to a child are fucking scary. Like when he's speaking in the mirror to no one and shit like that, it's like there's something just disturbing about it. But that was a Marvel film, you know what I mean? It's pretty wild that he got away with that. But yeah,
Definitely
I love that kind
dark
of stuff. Man.
Yeah, for sure. I went to see. What did I go and see? In just over it, not Christmas time or Christmas era, just gone. The one before, which would be 2022, I guess. I went to go and see Black Phone. Ethan Hawke movie.
Oh yeah.
And my partner Sam, she was away, and like I was just on my own. I was like, "Fuck it, man! I'm going to the movies." So I went to the movies and just saw the Black Phone. I had the whole place to myself, so it was kind of cool that no one goes to the cinema anymore because I just had this whole place to myself, and I watched the Black Phone. That was cool. That was fun.
Nice. I saw Ethan Hawke in something recently. I'm trying to remember what it was. It was kind of it wasn't horror, but it was clearly the director was very aware of horror because the scenes were really built up really well. I'm just going to remember what it was. What was it bloody called? It was good though. It was kind of divisive, I think. Some people really like it, some people really don't. I think it was 2023. Leave the World Behind. Yeah, that was pretty good. That's worth a watch.
I know it. I just can't remember if I watched it or not. But I know it. Definitely know it.
It's good. It's like a family vacation.
Yes, sorry. Yeah, with Julia Roberts, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I loved it. I fucking loved it. I loved that movie. I thought that was brilliant, man. I was one of the people that loved it.
Definitely. Yeah, man, I'm the same. I don't know why that's so divisive. I guess it's the subject matter's kind of divisive, right? But only if you're American, who cares? Like anywhere else in the world is just going to enjoy that film, dude. Good.
Sure.
It's good. Nice, man. And yeah, for me at the moment, anything Robert Eggers is doing at the moment, I'm excited about. I can't wait for whatever comes next for that guy.
Isn't that Nosferatu?
Yeah, it is.
I've
not seen the original, so I don't know what to expect on that one.
It's. I reckon it's going to be cool. I didn't. I love The Witch. I've seen that a couple of times, despite the massively irritating dialogue. I know it's a tasteful thing. I totally get it, but I think that's why it's so perfect, because you could mute that movie and still understand what's going on and get that sense of just ominousness, if that's a word. You know what I mean? Watching that film, I think that was great. The Lighthouse, yeah, I wasn't sure, but there was some really frightening moments actually in that I thought that was pretty cool. So, yeah.
I'm just thoroughly impressed. I mean, what's he done? Like 4 films or something like that, and each one has been just so successful. I'm like, pretty fair effort. I mean, because I'd say most directors now they tend to be, they're on the way out a little bit old. Most of them, I think, that are doing well. You know, like, I mean, like heavyweights that people, you know, they go to see it because of the director. You know, there's not many new ones, so become one, right?
Exactly, man. Make the movie that you want to see.
Hell yeah, dude. Fantastic. Do you know what, lads? I think we should wrap it up there. We've gone over our time by a little bit, and obviously we don't want to take up all of your evening. So thank you so much for joining us. Seriously, it's been a great chat with you this evening. Hopefully we'll catch you guys on the road at some point.
Likewise, man.
KT.
Thank you for having me. Big up Katie, queen of the scene, Katie.
Oh yeah.
Harry at Hammerdown and everyone else. And yeah, please, for anyone that's still maybe watching, www.insearchofsun.com. We're going on tour in May. Go and get your tickets, and there's some shit coming out very, very soon, which we can't say anything more about, but it's coming.
Hell
Big
yeah,
things
man.
coming.
Big things coming your way.
Yeah. Hashtag big things coming.
Man, I met that rapper on the streets of Camden. He told me that every time I went there. I know who you're on about. I'm fucking no. Thank you so much, man. Cheers again. Thank you for your precious time, and we'll hopefully catch you guys soon. Katie just chimed in, says, "Night, boys. We'll get a show sorted out." Yeah, man. If we ever get to share a stage with you guys, that'd be a huge honor. So thank you again for coming on, guys. Go check out In Search of Sun. Thank you so much for watching this long. If you're watching from the future, cheers for checking us out this evening, and hello from the past. We will see you all soon. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, you got to press the button twice.
Thanks, guys.
Oh, he's gone. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the recommended videos off the back end of that are fantastic. It's send this to your Valentine with your hair waving swish. Then it's nobody asked for this Valentine's anthem, and then it's the louder music video.